Hey guys, I thought I'd make this last video from my house in Hawaii. I've been here 6 years and it wasn't a plan. I literally had just finished school in Santa Barbara and I felt like my life was at a plateau, but I didn't really have any ideas. And long story short, somebody was like, you should move to Hawaii. We have a house, we have a job, we have a car, we need help on a farm. And I was like, perfect. And I got up and left in 2 weeks. As soon as I arrived, it was a hustle because that guy lied. There was no job, there was no bed, there was no house. I mean, there was a roof, but there was no bed. There was no car. So, I just let it all unfold and started the hustle and got a job, got a house. My plan though was to always come to Hawaii and write my books. That was the only plan I had after school was, okay, I have to write my books. And so when someone offered Hawaii, I thought, perfect. Because in my mind, I would be able to live off grid and be a minimalist, be a super minimalist and just eat fruit. Yeah, lots has changed in the last 6 years. So I had quickly got a place and was just living in a regular neighborhood, Pukalani, and I'm not that regular of a person, so when my landlord, I'm leaving for the roosters, they suck. I've begged my neighbor not to have them and you just can't care. That's to me, I feel like, of course there's people that are authentically harmonic with Hawaii and they didn't come here to front, to get away from anything. It was just a natural flow. But there's so many people here that are fake as fuck and assholes as fuck. It's like they have to be a badass or they have to be like totally fake. There's a lot of that here. So it's super stupid. And then of course everybody on vacation. So anyways, from my house, I was living in Pukalani and my landlord actually was like, oh yeah, I had probably only been on island like maybe 6 months, a year. And my landlord was like, a lot of people just camp. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, a ton of people just camp on the beach. And I was like, oh my God, 30-day notice. And I moved out and I got a little car and it was a wagon and it was so fun. It was so simple. That's what I wanted to achieve, is just this like simplicity. I don't need anything. But I started to learn something about humanity that I didn't realize on another level. Is like people judge you and people are crazy and people are on drugs and people kill you, like a whole other level that I didn't really like have access to. But in Hawaii, I feel like you can definitely access like darkness. It's the lava. It's totally the lava. There's an energy here that's just dark. And so I experienced that. And also I think I obviously learned a lot about van life and how to live that way and how fun it is. And so I'm going to carry a lot of that knowledge into this next part of my journey, which is going to be so helpful. So I'm super excited about my van build. It's not a van. I'm pretty sure I've come down to the car. I don't think I'm going to get a van just because honestly, like I went from Hawaii, I went from my wagon and some girl totally damaged that. So my mom helped me buy a minivan, which was neat to be in because it was more spacious. But then I also felt like it was really attracting like men, like, oh, look we all want to lay in your van. And I'm like, oh, that's not really what I want. So I don't think I want a van because I just feel like it's inviting and it's just, the message is not enough of who I am. And the message, yeah, it's just not enough of who I am. I'm not really a van dweller, I don't think. If I had money, if I really had, my next 2 levels after this one would be like, I'd probably buy a Ford Transit, one of the high tops, and fix that up. And if I really had cash, I would go full on 4-wheel drive, off-wheel vehicle that has like a big camper. That would be what I would want. It's like almost a military grade vehicle, and that would be awesome, but I can't afford that. So with all my research, I looked at the vans, which would be the Ford. Yeah, the Fords, not the Chevy vans. Then I looked at the Honda elements, and that's just not really who I am either. And so a forerunner is what I decided. And so I got really excited about it. And then there's been this little whisper in my ear about like a Prius. And I'm like, what? Why a Prius? Maybe gas mileage, but I don't really know how a Prius works. I don't understand. If anybody knows, what's your opinion? Do you have an opinion? Would you go Forerunner or Prius? It's gonna be a tough decision. So I'll just see what's available when I get there and I'll know more. So that's kind of where I'm heading. And some of my other thoughts about, leaving Hawaii during this time and going to the mainland, I'm kind of looking at things differently after 2020. It's like more of like a prepper kind of mentality. And I already wanted to buy some property. I wouldn't want to buy property in Hawaii just because I feel like the attitude, there's just so much conflicting energy here with so many people coming here for so many reasons, and the costs of living and everyone trying to front, and it's just not worth it to me. It's not worth it. I don't think it's that great. I don't have that much of a personality, to be honest with you. So yeah, I don't want to buy property here. But what I did like about Hawaii and the concept of Hawaii, thinking in a prep type way, was I feel like there's an abundance of water here, and then there's access to the ocean. So I feel like there's some element of abundance here. And there is, obviously, you can garden and you can hunt even. There's deer, there's pigs. So I feel like there's a lot of natural abundance, but then there's a lot of also natural competition. And do I know how to access those things? And can I even afford a house? So, they do sound good, but they sound good to too many people. And then there's just too much attitude here for me, I think. I want to just be around like normal people that aren't trying to front. And of course, I met some of the most amazing people in Hawaii. Amazing people are everywhere, wherever they're meant to be. So moving forward, I'm excited about this trip and getting my build together. And what I want to look for, I'm going on the trip for the journey to find land. My mom and I have talked about purchasing property and doing like tiny houses maybe. But just purchasing property, I want to purchase property. So it's either America or maybe India afterwards. So I'm going to check out all of America and see. And so the concept is that I'm traveling to look at land and look at community. And I didn't really feel like there was a lot of community in Hawaii unless you were like more of a clique or like local, or you're in like a certain business, and I don't really fit into any of those categories. I'm more of like an independent person that wants to keep things simple, that doesn't really believe in supporting the machine and the giant and competing, and I'm not really into all that. So I don't know, didn't really feel like the people in the community in Hawaii were the best, fighting over some of the best nature. So not my environment, but I do really want to try to duplicate that as much as I can on the mainland. Obviously, no, I'm not going to find the warmth, but that's okay because I even got tired of the heat. I looked at like Canada and Alaska because those just seem like the best, most natural, peaceful areas, and you could always adapt to the weather and just learn how to deal with it. Canada looks amazing. There's just water everywhere. I don't think it was much a surprise to me that I wanted to find land with property, so that's still the goal. So wanting to find some land with a little bit of water and just a place that we can build safely with a government that isn't crazy. And that's obviously another reason why I want to leave Hawaii, is the government. And so it's like the people kind of reflect the government, so everyone here is just like, it's so funny. Like, I don't know that I ever actually had, like, I'm sure I did. Maybe like one or two people, like dark-skinned people, actually call me Hallie. All the people that call me Hallie are from like the East Coast or some white person trying to be Hawaiian. It's so funny. Yeah, so it started to rain out there. So yeah, the government in Hawaii is just so crappy, and I don't really want to be underneath that because the people, they resemble the government. So that's kind of the community here, and it's kind of speaks for itself, I guess. So I look forward to getting on the mainland. I'm going to be actually packing all my stuff up and putting it on the barge pretty soon. So I'm not going to be able to make any videos. Maybe on my phone I might check in. But yeah, for the next couple of weeks, I'll be pretty busy, and I may not make any videos. I might go to the beach one more time. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna miss the ocean. Like, I felt like, honestly, like this sucks, but I felt like the water, I'm not into the ocean that much right now, just because of Fukushima. I want to kind of find like a mainland, like freshwater source. I'm not really into the ocean anymore. I just feel like it's gross, especially in such populated areas. So that's kind of how I feel about that. All right, guys.